We are learning how police are cracking down on a so-called business that impacts our public health, our public safety, and our tax dollars.
And it's a business that's largely illegal and unregulated. We're talking about the escort business and the thinly veiled offers of sex and satisfaction. Our TV6 reporter Jack Reinhardt covered this story for us today and joins us live. Jack?
Well, Erica, there are several local internet sites like this one that advertise the services of so-called escorts. There's literally hundreds to choose from, and according to the Department of Code Enforcement, not a single one of them has a license from the city. First of all, what is your definition of an escort?
It's an online prostitute.
Women or so-called escorts have moved off the streets and into cyberspace, but the business remains the same. They're selling a service that denies Indianapolis taxpayers any benefit.
There's no sales tax being collected, there's disease being spread, and there's people that are trafficked, that don't really want to be doing it.
And because there isn't a single licensed escort anywhere in the city of Indianapolis, as an industry, they've cheated local taxpayers out of tens of thousands of dollars in revenue. And with the Indianapolis 500 expected to draw at least 250,000 spectators, police say large numbers of out-of-state escorts will follow the money into our city.
The license gives us the ability to do a couple things just to have on our books, sort of who licensed, to run background checks and that sort of things. But again, at the end of the day, it's on the person performing the service to come in and get licensed.
Metro Police have recently targeted area massage parlors, shutting down 5 this month alone for allegedly engaging in prostitution and for failing to obtain proper zoning and licensing. And while enforcement of vice laws and city codes becomes somewhat problematic, they're on the books nonetheless.
So my expectation is that it follows the licensing procedures like any other organization, and that code enforcement enforce it and make sure that they're operating legally.
Metro Police say the number of unlicensed escorts in Indianapolis continues to increase despite recent enforcement efforts.
It's definitely a problem. It's going to keep growing because it's easy money, and it's below the radar, and they're not paying the tax man.
Sergeant Daggy works undercover in the Vice Branch and didn't want to appear on camera. So far this year, the Vice Branch has arrested 75 women for prostitution and or failing to obtain an escort license. And there's economic incentive to pursue these cases. That's because failing to obtain an escort license carries a fine of up to $2,500. Live in the newsroom, Jack Reinhardt, RTV6.
Very interesting.